So, Georgina, when you went to residential school, you only spoke Mi'kmaq?
Mi'kmaq, yeah. Because my language was beaten out of me, literally. So when I went to residential school, I couldn't speak for about 3 months till I learned the language. You had to learn it real fast.
Get a switch.
And then on top of that, you had to learn Latin because the mass was said in Latin. Yeah. And then when you went in the classroom, you were slapped with French. But your language was taken away, but you had to learn French. French and Latin and English, 3 languages, just to get rid of one of my own. Yeah.
What's your earliest, do you remember the first day? Like, do you have an early memory of arriving at residential?
I remember crying. My father leaving, and we were all crying, standing there. And talking with these nuns that were standing around in black, whatever you called it, habits. Yeah. And they were scary looking. And when they spoke, they even scared the hell out of me. I couldn't understand what they were saying. It was one hell of an experience. I'll never forget. That's when I realized we went in after my mom died. I was 8. My brother Jake was 4. And not to know the language was the sad part and very lonesome because you couldn't speak to anybody. You weren't allowed to use your language. So what can you do? Go with the flow.
Did you, were you able to see Jake much during the time? Or
No, I just see him when we go to eat. The boys were on this side, the girls on this side.
Yeah.
Bunch of tables. And I'd see him walking. He was so tiny. He was only 4. I remember him when we got there that time when my dad was leaving. And my brother was chasing my father past the door. He didn't want to be there.
Every kid had a number, huh?
Yeah.
Did they call you by the number?
Yeah.
So
Once in a while you would hear your name in a classroom, huh?
Mm-hmm.
But when you're in the downstairs recreation room,
Yeah.
the number,
Do you remember your number?
35.
35. Jeez.
I had an orange shirt made with 35 on it.
So 8 years, George was saying how your mom got to come home. But where did you go over the summer? Did you stay at the school?
I stayed at the school. I had no parents.
Even over the summer you were at the school?
Yeah.
What was it like in the summer? There'd be fewer students.
Well, we did the same work.
Just the same
thing, yeah.
So no
Nothing different.
No break from it.
We went swimming, I think it was in July. They took us swimming to Green Lake outside of Halifax. One day. That was it.
What years would you have been there? When were you born? What year were you born?
I was born 1942.
1942.
Yeah, I'm 83. I'll be 84 this summer.
In the archives, there's records. There was actually like an investigation because there was flogging, like students were flogged at the school. And it became news. It actually became news at that time. Because most news didn't report on the residential school. You would have been there just after that, some of that. I think that might have been in the 30s. But maybe, do you remember I mean, obviously there
Well,
was no violence.
they kept it
They
going.
kept it going.
Yeah.
So you were there and nobody was holding anybody accountable?
No. Our people were never thought of as human beings, I guess, not in the eyes of the church or the government, including the government. They blame the government for all this shit.
But at Christmas, how was Christmas like there?
Well, we had Christmas dinner.
No gifts or anything? Or?
If you were lucky, you got a present from home.
Yeah.
But I was an orphan, so I didn't get anything. But the nuns would give out little gifts.
Were you ever able to send or receive letters in the mail?
Yeah, from my sisters. I had a sister that lived in Maine. She was the oldest. So when the rest of us got to Canada, and she knew where we went. So she would write little letters to us.
What was it like, though, to get those letters?
Oh my God. You read it over and over. And the other girls would say, could I read it? So I let everybody else read it. Because most of us didn't have people writing to us or families. While I was there, my father died. My mother died when I was 8. My father died when I was 12. He died in Vermont. He was going to work around 8 o'clock in the morning. Him and his buddy just got off the bus, and they got hit by an 18-year-old drunk driver. They were both killed. Nothing happened to that kid. This is Vermont. I went up there, me and Jake, Jesse, and my sisters that lived in Maine. We all went up to visit his grave. It was just a number on a graveyard, 151. No name or anything.
So when you were 16, you left the residential school. Where felt like home to you at that point? Because you'd spent half your life in the residential school. So where was home for you?
My grandmother lived here in Eskasoni, so I went to, she signed us out, my cousin signed us out, and she lived with my grandmother.
And so what was it like when you got back to Eskasoni?
Different. I had to learn the language all over again. Because my grandmother told me she wasn't going to speak English to us, that we had to learn. So I tried my best.
How long did it take?
Well, I wasn't fluent until I was around 28. Oh.
But you were born here in Eskasoni.
Yeah, I was born right on the shore where Herman Paul lived down here.
In a wigwam.
In a wigwam. This was back in the 40s. They had to leave their house. It was too warm for my mother. She was pregnant. And my dad built a wigwam by the shore. So that's where she had me.
Born in a wigwam
In a wigwam.
along the shore.
Sure.
Yeah. So Eskasoni, a lot of people moved here during centralization, but you're one of the original, like you were already here,
Yeah.
your family was from here.
I'm a Denny, so this is a lot of Denny's here. So we have a large family here.
How many kids do you have?
Do I have?
Yeah,
8.
8. So 8 kids. How many grandkids?
How many grandchildren? Oh my God, I don't know. Grandchildren, I think
Grandchildren?
we're fourth
And
generation.
then great-grandchildren.
Yeah.
Do you know the number of how many altogether?
Oh no.
Too many. Too many to count. When you look, I mean, when you think about Eskasoni, when you were born here, that was before centralization, you came back, and the community would have been a lot bigger when you came back after residential school. But even then, when you think about now, because you took us on the tour, it takes a while to drive around Eskasoni now. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of construction and a new high school. The community's changed. You've seen a lot of change here over time.
Did I ever?
Is most of your family still in the community?
Some are still here. Most of them passed
Kids,
away.
all your kids are here, huh?
All your kids
Yeah.
are here?
All my children here,
Your
yeah.
kids.
Grandkids.
Great community. That's nice.
I have over 100 grandchildren. God knows how many great-grandchildren.
You know, you're here in the community. You learned to speak Mi'kmaq again. When did you start to sort of seek out the traditional sort of aspects of the culture as opposed to the church, like the traditional spirituality and the Maui? Was that in the 80s or 70s, 80s maybe?
Probably. So many years ago.
Yeah, it's around
I
80s,
never-
80s, yeah.
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 What was it like to bring how did you go about reclaiming all of that? Like, what was that like? A lot of conversations?
Lots and lots of conversation. Not everybody was happy, but I didn't care. I just kept going. Me and I think there was just a handful of us that did the cultural thing with powwow. I started a committee here for powwow
You were determined.
with the help of Elizabeth Graham.
Oh, yeah.
She was an American then.
Elizabeth Graham.
Yeah.
So she was an American
Yeah.
and helped you start the committee.
She helped us what we needed to do.
Okay.
Consultant, eh? Consultant.
Yeah. We tried hard to do what would be appropriate for the Mi'kmaq people. Huh? But there was a lot of people that showed up and told us this was how it was done. I had 3 aunts that were in their 80s, I guess. They came and they showed us how to dance. Yeah, that was cool. This group of residential school survivors trying to recapture their culture. And
Is it like the Gojua or a different?
yeah, Gojo, and there was another one. My aunt was, oh my God, these women must have been in their 80s. Chijo, Aunt
Oh,
Chijo.
really?
They were old. They came and they showed us how to do the Gojo. It was fun. It was very nice of them to do that for us. And they didn't speak English to us at all. And these are all survivors that don't know the language. They just spoke Mi'kmaq to us, and we tried our best to catch on to what they were saying. We did all right. We survived.
What was that first powwow like? First Maui that you put on in the community?
It was free. It didn't cost anything. But like now,
We did all the cooking. Today, it's sponsored and it's
caterers,
catered and
Yours was more grassroots.
big tents. We even got bleachers. Did you see the bleachers?
Yeah.
Big stage.
Yeah.
we have people coming from all over,
Yeah.
from Ontario.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always one of the first Mi'kmaq reserves to have a power. First one, so. But yeah, everybody kind of started following Couple years
Yeah.
after, huh?
Mm.
Yeah.
None of us knew what we were doing. If it weren't for that American woman, Elizabeth Graham, we wouldn't have known what to do.
Was she was indigenous from like the state?
Yeah, she was a
Boston,
Sioux.
Oh,
She was a
Sioux,
Sioux.
but she
Yeah.
lived in Boston. Okay.
She lived in Boston, but she was from North Dakota.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember, I think that was one of the biggest, I guess, that time, you know, was the controversies, huh? There was a little conflict between the Catholics, no, that's only Catholics and the
Yeah.
traditions.
They didn't care for our way of life, but because none of us, we all gave up on the church because of residential school.
How did you respond, like when you got that pushback? What would you do when someone said you shouldn't be doing that?
What could I say? Buzz off. I told them, said we were raised in residential school. We lost our language, we lost our culture. This is only one way that we could respect ourselves and bring back our culture to our community. At least we brought something to survivors. It was all taken away one time. I don't go to church. I haven't in years.
Maybe funerals.
Just funerals. Yeah, that's the only time I would go. And there's funeral. But I suffered too much at their hands. And so my aunts that came and they taught us how to do the gojua, they were all old. But darn, they could dance. That was very nice of them. They heard about us, I guess. That's one of my aunts. She was the older one. She said, "You're being talked about all over the reserve." I said, "That's okay, Auntie. I don't care. This is what I want to do." Well, she said, "We're here to help you." How to do the gojua and that. There was another one that she taught us. And we had help from elders, mostly how to chant and,
Sarah Daniel, did she help?
yeah,
She did?
she helped and so did her kids. Her kids joined us after a while,
Yeah.
yeah. But our aunt she's the one that came to see me. And she loaned us that yard. That was her place where the powwow is.
Mm.
That's John.
Oh, so you cleared the space even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was hard work. In more ways than one. Wow.
Well, we got it off the ground. That's
Stayed
all
up.
we wanted. You know, we didn't care if people came. After a while, we told one another, we can do this. We did.
Georgina, you've been interviewed by media, including me a lot, but just generally you're someone people come to. What's it like from your perspective when when you've been interviewed for stories and then you see the stories, read the stories?
Well, when I read what interview I've been through, it makes me think more, I should have said this or I should, you know. You see the things that you didn't mention.
It's hard.
You're never prepared.
Do you feel like you're pressured against the wall?
Sometimes I feel like I'm afraid to say this or,
Could you a bit disconnected?
yeah, and not just
Sometimes
that.
it's even hard to explain in English what I'm asking her in Mi'kmaq. So, because there's a lot of words that you
You cannot translate.
can't really translate them, but you know, but she knows what I'm saying.
Georgina, you do often say yes to interviews. And you said yes for us to record this, because I had just asked, we didn't really have a plan to do that. And you said yes, but so why do you say yes? Like, why is it important for you to share what you know?
Well, I'm a survivor, and I feel what I have in here has to come out and has to be known. All the stuff we went through, and even living on a reserve, you know. Why? Why did this happen? Why did our people let it happen? Now, right across this country, we all have these little reserves where our people are only allowed on these reserves.
Yeah, we didn't live that way before.
We were all over the place. We might think we own this land, but I doubt it now. It's like you're being stifled, even language-wise, culture-wise. Our people been through too much racism, and being put on a reserve and not able to.
Well,
You're welcome.